If you have ever felt completely lost or just plain overwhelmed in family court, then this explainer is absolutely for you. We're going to break down a really powerful playbook that's designed to help you turn that chaos into a clear, strategic path forward. It's all about giving you back a sense of control.
It usually starts with a feeling just like this one, right? A sense that the power dynamics are just completely off, that you're being run over by a system that you have absolutely no control over. I mean, does this hit home for you? Maybe you feel like the whole process is rigged, that you can't possibly get a fair hearing, or worse, that you're actually being punished for just trying to speak up for yourself or for your child. If any of that resonates, believe me, you are in the right place.
But listen, this isn't just about venting frustration. This is about strategy. We're going to walk through a method for taking all that chaos and building a powerful, factual record. A record that can actually change the outcome of your case. Okay, so to build that record in the most effective way, we first have to understand the language the system itself uses, the language of power. And it all kicks off with this key legal concept called color of law.
So what does that even mean? To put it simply, color of law is when someone in an official position, think a judge, a court-appointed professional, anyone like that, misuses the power given to them by the state and in doing so violates your constitutional rights. They're not just acting as a private person, they're acting under the color of their official authority. That's the key.
Now, there are two main federal paths to address this. First, there's the civil path. This lets you sue these state actors, those officials who violated your rights, for damages. Then there's the criminal path, which is way more serious. That involves the Department of Justice actually prosecuting them.
Okay, that sounds pretty straightforward, doesn't it? So why do so many parents who try to go down these roads just end up hitting a brick wall?
Well, it really comes down to what we can call the three-gate reality check. First, you have to be able to name the specific federal right that was violated. Vague feelings won't cut it. Second, you have to clearly identify the state actor. And third, and honestly, this is usually the biggest hurdle, you have to find a court that can even hear your case. You're up against massive roadblocks like judicial immunity, which is this legal doctrine that protects judges from being sued for most of their judicial acts.
So, here's the absolute crucial point. Trying to jump straight to a big federal lawsuit is almost never the right first move. Your real power, your best power move, is building an impeccable, undeniable record inside your existing family court case first.
And this, right here, leads us to the single most important mindset shift you can possibly make. This is the one that can change the entire dynamic of your case.
It's this simple mantra. Write it down, say it out loud. Describe, don't diagnose. This becomes your new North Star for every single communication, every filing, and every statement you make.
And this slide shows you exactly what that looks like in the real world. Just look at the don't side. Shouting labels like corruption or trafficking, it feels powerful, sure, but to a court it's just noise. They tune it out. Now look at the do side. It's a simple, factual description. That is professional, it is undeniable, and it gives a judge something they can actually verify and act.
Okay, so you get the mindset. Describe, don't diagnose. But how do you actually put that into practice? Let's get into the toolkit and see how to build this thing from the ground up.
You start with what we'll call a 72-hour reset. First step, get organized. Create a simple binder with 4 sections: court orders, your filings, your evidence, and communications. Then, and this is key, distill it all down into a single one-page timeline. And finally, identify your top 3 most important specific requests for the court. It's all about focus.
And let me tell you, this one-page timeline is a secret weapon. Just look at how it's structured. You've got the date, then what happened. Next, who used their authority to make it happen. And crucially, the proof, the document that verifies it. Then you connect that action to the harm it caused and the specific remedy you're asking for. You see, this isn't just a list of grievances, it's a powerful, logical argument all on a single page.
And inside the courtroom, you're going to use these specific tactics. You calmly and repeatedly ask for written findings of fact so decisions aren't just vague pronouncements. If a judge blocks your evidence, you make what's called an offer of proof. You just state on the record what that evidence would have shown. And you always push for specific deadlines in every order. Your whole goal is to maintain the calm, factual tone of an auditor, not an emotional accuser.
So, once you have this rock-solid record, what do you do with it? This is where something called the accountability ladder comes in. It's all about using the right tool at the right time.
The key here is sequence. You have to climb this ladder one rung at a time.
As you can see, you always start in lane 1. You use motions, you use hearings, you try to fix the issue within your case. Only after you've totally exhausted that path do you even think about moving to lane 2, like going to licensing boards. Then lane 3, and only as an absolute final last resort do you even consider those big federal options in lane 4.
I'm going to say that again, because it is that important. Skipping these steps is the #1 reason these efforts fail. You have to build your foundation and try to solve the problem in lane 1 first. Period. End of story.
So, to bring this all home, this is the mindset that keeps you in a position of power and credibility. You stay factual, you relentlessly build your record, you ask for specificity, you use the right accountability lane in the right order, and you resist that powerful temptation to make emotional, performative accusations.
Ultimately, this whole playbook is about a fundamental shift. It's about moving from that place of feeling like a victim of the system to becoming a disciplined, strategic operator who is in complete control of their own record. And that is where your real power lies.
So, the real question isn't whether the system has flaws. We know it does. The question is, now that you have this playbook, how are you going to systematically turn any misuse of authority you encounter into undeniable, factual accountability?